Shalom, brothers and sisters. Once again, it's the voice of Brother Taza Doc. I would like to reserve all of my rights by the Constitution and Bill of Rights of the United States. This is not legal advice. It does not offer legal advice. This is for entertainment, educational, information purposes only. If you need legal advice, seek yourself a lawful attorney and please be advised. I was thinking, and it finally dawned on me that contract, jurisdiction. I was thinking contract, jurisdiction. And then it dawned on me. There are three ways to function in the commercial system, in this corporation, and to stay out of trouble. 1, rejection of contract offer. 2, redemption or accepted for value. 3, adhere to the offer of a contract and pay. And 4, there's a fourth way, but I do not advise it. Of course I don't advise. I'm only an entertainer. This is at all, just ignore the offer. I don't advise that one at all. That is when they put out a warrant for your arrest, when you just ignore the offer. Now, I said 1 was rejection of a contract offer. The great event by the perpetrators for the enslavement of we the people started with the trading with the Enemies Act of March 9, 1933, by the traitor to the people of the States United of America, by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now, the War Powers Act of 1917, and as presented as the trading with the Enemies Act, announced to the world that a new world order was now out of the closet, and through trickery and deceit, deception, whatever you may like to call it, by the leaders in high places, by spiritual wickedness in high places, their deeds started in earnest. Now, some questions became obvious to me. If they had jurisdiction, why would they have to declare war on the citizens of the 48 States United of America? Jurisdiction is given by contract, and contract must precede jurisdiction. Oh, I hope you better listen to me today. I'm going to say that again. Jurisdiction is given by contract, and contract must precede jurisdiction. In 1926, the codes, rules, regulations, procedures, and statutes were starting to be placed into the law books by trickery. The lawful manner of enacting a law is by the introduction of a bill into legislature enabled by the Constitution. Now, the passage by both the Senate and the Congress, and then signed by the legislator, the president, and the judicial. So in 1926, the judicial ceased signing the bills and was replaced by the president of the bar. When I say bar, I mean British Accredited Regency of New York. Oh, this is truth. If you doubt it, do the research. Now, this was necessary in their schemes of things to come, for they were actually going to declare what had been passed in 1871. The DC Corporation had now become the United States Corporation. And they had to have rules, regulations, codes, statutes to run the many and various corporations that they would be setting up, i.e. banks, lending institutions, IRS, or anything to do with money, or the lack thereof, was left unincorporated. Do you follow me? So codes, rules, regulations, and statutes apply only for corporations. They are written for and apply only for employees of that corporation. They do not apply to people of the 48 various states for United of America, but only for corporations. The corporation is required to abide by their codes, rules, regulation, and statutes by the corporation, sworn under oath the penalty of perjury that a citizen of the states owes them something. Can they bring the people of the state into the action? Now, when checking the Bar Act, and I already explained to you what bar mean. When you check the Bar Act, which was placed into every state around 1938, somewhere around that time, we find that attorneys, lawyers, esquires, counselors, etc. could only represent created fictions. Do the research if you doubt what I'm saying. Now, I'm not here to play any games or give you false information. Do some research in corporations. Now we understand why the passage of more than 60 million codes, rules, and regulations and statutes had to be placed into the books. All attorneys, lawyers, esquires, counselors, etc. were required in 1938 to join the private fraternity called the Bar, the British Accredited Regencies of British Accredited Registry. Now, for the privilege of practicing in the courts and to be given a license to practice by the created corporations, fictions, which is actually retaining them. So they're given a certificate by the state and a bar card from their actual private fraternity that they belong to. That's a brotherhood, brothers and sisters. It's a brotherhood. They're working with each other. Again, that's why they hate me. Because of certain information that I come out with for entertainment purposes. And that's why Officer Ricky hurts me as well. He hates me. So, placing all of this together, my dearest brothers and sisters, together, the trick was to establish each citizen of the 48 states united for America that they had to declare war upon all created fictions. Now, how was this done? It was done by the issuance of the birth certificate, which actually had not been done until this point. So thereby creating a fiction, the state selling the birth certificate to the Commerce Department of the United States Corporation. The Commerce Department then placed a bond on the birth certificate, making it a negotiable instrument, and then placing the fiction into the warehouse of the Federal United States Corporation. So representations for the created fiction was given to the bar for the purpose of contracting the fiction in a third-party action. So men and women are born into this world by the Creator as living souls. The Heavenly Father made us living souls. The birth certificate creates the fiction. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters? So, this statement is the issue of mankind. You were created by the Creator and given freedom. Right? Or were you created by a Creator and given freedom, or were you created by a corporate government and subject to all of their codes, rules, regulations, procedures, statutes, etc.? Now, I'm going to hit you with something. Licenses were then devised for every occasion, given the illusion, remember, everything is an illusion. It's not what it appears to be. Given the illusion and the impression that having a license to drive gave up rights to travel. No, they create the illusion that you must have license to drive, but license to drive actually gives up your right to travel and then place us under their codes, rules, regulations, procedures, and statutes. So this is what happens when you go and get a driver's license. You surrender your rights to travel. Now, the issuance of the Social Security number has caused a lot of headaches and heartaches with the American people. The Social Security number is the number of a trust, and only the effects of the living soul, when they want to benefit from that trust and sign the document as the trustee. So people actually think that they have a set amount of money set aside for their retirement. Wrong. There is no money set aside for each person. You know what happens? Each year, Congress votes to pay the Social Security payment to people based on the amount that they earn, not on what they paid in. So, at any time, Congress can cease paying, and there is nothing that can be done about it by the American people. Now, most of the money is paid out to people who have not contributed a dime to Social Security. They haven't paid a dime to the Social Security system, which in reality is nothing more than a welfare program. And you know what welfare is, spelled backwards. Farewell. That's right. So the welfare program taken out of the community's manifesto. So it was first presented to the American people as an old age retirement program. Then they changed it into an insurance program. And then they finally pulled the wool from the program and revealed what it was really for. And they revealed that it was truly a fraud, a welfare program for anyone living here or elsewhere in the world. You could like it, understand it, believe it or not, but I give you truth. The Internal Revenue Service, or the banking system. Now, the income tax is allowed for a period of 2 years during the time of war. In 1945, the income tax collected during the Second World War was ended and placed in all large newspapers across the country. The only problem being the IRS kept sending out the Form 1040 to everyone. And since it was only a small amount of people that kept signing them under the penalty of perjury and returning them to the IRS, that's where you made your mistake. So it is through the self-assessment, voluntary promise to pay, and the sworn under penalty of perjury that they trap we, the American people, into believing that income tax on their labor was lawful, not legal, and then started taking away the people's property by Gestapo means, by killing some people and leaving them destitute, creating fear of the United States corporation. Now the other agencies, or the other agents, FBI, CIA, DEA, BATF, etc., then began illegal intrusion in the affairs of we the people of the States United of America. Oh, I know this is heavy. This is heavy. This is heavy. And I'm going to continue this on in the next video, so be sure to watch part 2. Once again, my name is Brother Tazadak. Shalom.